Welcome back to the Masculine Code Podcast. I'm your host, Jim Vance. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you guys are having a great summer and making it happen. Been a little away from the podcast for this year. Been busy as shit. Not a good reason. Been doing my podcast with my wife called Consciously Connected. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it in the show notes. But I'm going to restart this up. My plan is to execute 1 to 2 podcasts a week, and then start bringing people on, people that I'm interested in, people that would help benefit my community the most. So I hope you guys tune in, and if there are people you want me to interview, let me know. I would love to connect with them and network and see what we can make happen. But besides that, today I want to talk about indecision and how indecision is killing your leadership of your life. And I talk to a lot of men about their relationships all the time. I talk to women about their men. I talk to men about their women. And a common kind of frame that gets presented to me is that women are in decision fatigue and men are hesitant to make decisions. And because women are in such decision fatigue and men are so hesitant to make decisions, it creates a dynamic where women can't trust men to decide on anything. Men don't trust themselves to make decisions. And there becomes this lack of respect and lack of trust in the relationship between the man and the woman. Not that the woman wants to have no respect. It's just there's nothing to respect because the man is unable to make decisions. The man is unwilling to pull the trigger on things. Not because he doesn't want to, but because he's trying to placate everybody in his life. He's trying to appease people. He wants everybody to feel good about the things he's going to decide to do. But the problem is when you're a leader, every decision is not going to make everybody happy. Every decision is not going to appease everybody. Every decision is not going to make you look like the greatest version of God's green earth, right? Leaders have to make right decisions regardless of the approval they receive from other people. And when you're constantly moving and trying to decide what's good for everybody or what's going to, not even that, it's like what's going to make everybody happy with you, then you're never going to make good decisions because you're going to make decisions that are out of alignment with what you want, out of alignment with what is called for in that moment, and really out of alignment with your own character because you're going to do things that don't resemble the man you want to be. You're going to operate from places that don't resemble the leader you want to lead from. And so what I want to talk about today is like, how do we make good decisions? Like, and why is decision making important? I heard this quote the other day. It said, successful people make quick decisions and change their mind slowly. And it really that stuck with me because it's a real thing. I know I used to be a super indecisive person. And this was like 15, 16, 17 years ago. And I would make decisions hesitantly because I didn't know, I wanted the approval of everybody around me. And every decision I made put me in a spot that didn't feel good. It put me in a spot that was below everybody else. It put me in a spot that I resented. Even though people were happy, I resented it. Even though people were getting what they wanted, I was not getting what I wanted. And I was only moving in such a way to make sure everybody was good with me. And I wasn't moving in a way to make sure everybody was good. And that's what's changed is I started making decisions from a place of not overthinking and mental masturbation, but decisions from a place of rightness. What's good moving forward from here? And I have a 3-step decision making process that I always go through is like, is this in alignment with the man I want to be? Is this in alignment? That's first. Like, if I'm making this decision, is it in alignment with the man I am and the man I want to be? Is this decision in alignment with the life I currently live and the life I want to live? And does this decision harm or hurt anybody that I love and care for? And if I can go through those steps, I can make quick decisions. what I stopped doing and what I recommend a lot of people stop doing is stop trying to mentally masturbate your way to the outcome. Like, you go through a decision-making process where you're trying to get somewhere before you actually go anywhere. And if you're always trying to get somewhere before you go anywhere, you never move, because you become like terrified. You become paralyzed by all the thoughts and uncertainty of what is. See, great decision makers make quick decisions. Number one. The second part of that is they fully commit to the decision they make, because they're not waiting for the right decision. They're trying to make every decision right. Meaning, if I make a decision, then I need to go all in on that decision in order for that decision to play out the way it needs to play out. If I just make decisions because I'm just going to say yes to this and yes to that and yes to this and yes to that, but I don't do anything, I don't row the boat in the direction of the decision, then I can't expect the decision to play out in my favor or play out in the favor of what I wanted it to. So number one, I have to make a decision quickly. I'm not trying to get to the outcome. Number two, I need to commit to the process of what the decision needs me to commit to. Right? If I want to be, hey, I'm making a decision, I'm going to go all in on my health. Like, I just made this decision here 2 weeks ago, because back in October, I tore my right pec. I tore my bicep again here about 2 months ago. A slight tear my pec, slight tear my bicep. I got piriformis syndrome. So I had all these things going on, and I was afraid to work out because I was afraid of the outcome. But also, I was suffering mentally, like at a high level. I was fracturing apart mentally because I didn't have an escape. I didn't have something to get out of myself. And I've used exercise for my whole life as my mental peace, my mental escape, my meditation. To clear my thoughts, to ease my mind, to calm my body, to build myself up, and to really to go through a level of suffering that I wouldn't do on a daily basis. And so for 6-7 months, I was in fear of my body because it had broke down so much. But then I realized, like, I was breaking down mentally by not moving toward it. So I made a quick decision. I told my wife, like, hey, I've been afraid for the last 7 months or so, and it's caused a lot of tension within me. And I know I bring that tension to our relationship. I bring that tension to my business. I bring that tension everywhere I go because I'm not fully clean and clear. And so I'm going to commit back to moving. I'm going to commit back to working out and figuring out different ways to move my body so I can stay healthy and still stay mentally balanced. And she was all on board. That don't mean anything. That's just words. That's a decision. What I did after that is what changed. I wrote out a full plan. I researched different mobility things for my shoulders, for my chest, for my knee, because I have no ligaments in my left knee after tearing it 2 years ago. All these things. And so I'm starting to rebuild the man, right? Little by little, but it's every day. And every day I execute. I have a workout plan written out. I have a meal plan written out where I'm getting 220 grams of protein a day. I have a hydration plan written out. I have steps. I get 10,000 steps a day. And I start moving in that direction every day, chopping wood. And by being fully committed to the decision, and I start chopping wood every day, I don't have a desire to change my mind anytime soon, because I want to see where this wood chopping goes. Because I have this like belief, like this analogy I always say to my guys in community, and the Conscious Kings community, is that you got to think of yourself as chopping a redwood tree. I don't know if you've ever seen a redwood tree. A redwood tree is fucking ginormous. It's so fucking big. You can't put your arms around it. You got to link several people together to put your arms around it. And it's just as like, hey, if you were dropped in the middle of a redwood forest and asked to chop the trees down, not use a saw, but with an axe and what's the first thing you're going to do? And most guys are like, I don't know. I'm going to think about what I need to do. And I'm saying, I'm going to start chopping. And they're like, why would you do that? It's like, because number one, I got to see how to cut the tree. I got to start building the muscle that will allow me to cut the tree. That means I got to chop a lot during the day. I got to do examine my techniques and making sure the technique I'm using to chop the tree is the right technique for that tree, right? I have to constantly be in execute, review, revise, execute, review, revise, execute, review, revise, execute. And if I'm doing that every day, I stop thinking about changing my mind because I'm getting interested in what I'm building. I'm getting interested in who I'm building. I'm getting interested in the man that's getting created. See, a lot of your decision making, that your lack of decision making, your indecisiveness comes from the unwillingness to commit to the decision that you're willing to make. And, or number two, you're trying to get to some level of certainty on the other end before you commit to the middle, where it's uncertain as fuck. See, every decision and every opportunity that comes across your plate, there is a high level of uncertainty involved, whether it be opening a business, starting a nutrition plan, entering in a new relationship, starting a new career, whatever it may be. There's a high level of uncertainty, and that uncertainty can only be eliminated by commitment to execute, by commitment to chopping the tree, by commitment to moving in the direction of what you want. Because like God's steering you in the direction. You have to be willing to row the boat. And most of us are trying to steer the boat and hope God rows us to success. And that's just not the way he wants it, right? You pray and move in faith. We don't pray and sit and hope. And a lot of us have done that through our indecision. We want all these great things. We want the right relationship. We want the amazing body. We want the big bank account. We want all the toys of life, and we want success, and we want this and that and the other thing. Yet we sit idly by on our hands, hoping somebody blesses us because we're unwilling to make decisions. Your decision-making process will tell a lot about you. I told you mine, like, hey, is it in alignment with the man I want to be? Is it in alignment with the life I want to live? And is it going to harm anyone that I care about or love? If not, then I'm going to make that decision and pop off and go. I'm just going to commit. I'm just going to be in alignment. But that means you got to know yourself and where you're going. That's the first two steps of my decision-making process. Know myself and know where I'm going. And the third part is, like, when I commit, I'm having fun going there. Like, whenever I make a decision, I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm going to be committed to making it happen. I opened this community called the Conscious Kings here. I've had it on my heart since last summer. Last summer, I couldn't pull the string on the decision because it wasn't in alignment with where I was in that moment. And then about 2 months ago, I just told my wife, "Was like, I'm ready." And she's like, "What?" I was like, It's in alignment with the man I am and the life I want to live moving forward." And she goes, "What?" I was like, "The Conscious Kings." And she's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, what are you gonna do about it?" I was like, "I already started building it." She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I already started promoting it. I already started selling it." She goes, "Huh? You don't have?" I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Once I make a decision, I go all in and I go after it because I'm going to row the boat toward the outcome. God gave me the opportunity. I'm going to row the boat in the direction it needs to go. Now I just let God steer my heart, steer my mind, steer my soul every day. And I just row the boat in that direction. But you got to make a decision. You got to stop sitting idly by. Your wife is tired of making all the decisions, and she wants to know that you are in leadership of self enough to make good decisions for yourself so that you can make great decisions for the family. But you have to be willing to commit. You have to be willing to not mentally masturbate. You have to be willing to not change your mind. You have to be willing to sit in the uncertainty and grow yourself. Decision making is one of the most important traits of the masculine. It's one of the most important traits of man, of any leader. Great leaders make great decisions. They're not always in the benefit of everybody, but they're always for the greater good of all. Guys, if you are out there and you can see, like, hey, I've dropped the ball. I've lost my edge when it comes to being my full self as a leader. I've lost my edge when it comes to taking care of my body. I've lost my edge when it comes to taking care of my marriage. I'm really good at business. I make a lot of money, but everything else in my life falls apart. And I want to get everything in alignment with the man I want to be and the life I want to live. I have the place for you. It's called The Conscious Kings. I would love for you to be a part of it. I'd love for you to get involved. I'd love for you to see what it's all about. So I'm going to drop a link in my show notes for a free call. Just set up a call. If it feels good for you, jump in. If it feels bad for you, don't jump in. It's on you. Make a decision for you. What's in alignment with you and what's in alignment with the life you want to live. But I promise you, it's a process where men are getting one-on-one, they're getting group, they're getting coursework, and we're meeting every week as a group to learn, grow, expand our minds, our souls, our hearts, our skill sets, our mindsets, everything that we need in order to become the greatest version of ourselves, the greatest version of leaders that we want to be. If this is something you want, check the link in the bio or in the show notes and let's check it out. Guys, I hope this hits you hard. I can't wait to be back. I'm going to do this more and more because I love talking to you guys. I love teaching. I love being a part of this, and I want to touch a million men's minds, heart, and souls. My brothers, have a great day and keep it moving forward.